everybody? Are you actually building a business and having, cash flow problems or issues? Well, did you know that you can actually, or the best way to really build a thriving business is with business credit and other people's money? And so we're going to get into that today. So welcome in. Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday, rise and shine, all those great things. So I want to talk to small business entrepreneurs who are feeling stuck using their personal cash flow, using their personal credit to really build their business. You're doing it all wrong. Take it from someone who have over 2 decades of experience in growing and thriving a very profitable business. So if you have, of course, some limited cash flow, then guess what? You have limitations of what you can do, things you can invest in, and opportunities to really grow and scale in business is also limited. So you want to kick back that frustration because of the lack of cash flow that's holding you back from living a life that you aspire to have. We're going to help you change that today. So, hey, I am Dr. Cor D Irving, you guys, government contracting strategist, AKA also known as a business growth specialist. And of course, helping small business owners actually become 7-figure earners. That is my gift. I'm really skilled at that. I show you how to tap into these resources called other people's money, but also the multi-trillion-dollar industry of government contracts to really position yourself as a 7-figure boss. So over the past few years, we've helped, a handful of small business entrepreneurs who are just like you, no different from you, become multiple 6 and even multiple 7-figure business owners, right? So that they can create, they're creating jobs now, they're doing philanthropy, they're doing amazing things and living life on their own terms. And so anyway, if you are here because you have a business, type what type of business you have in the chat. Let me know. Now, if cash flow has been a significant issue for you, type cash flow. Let me know if cash flow in your business, anytime you have the opportunity to, to grow, build a blueprint, do whatever it is that you want to do that's going to help your business grow and scale. But cash flow has been the number one biggest hurdle for you. Type cash flow in the chat. I definitely want to see, because today I'm going to show you how to resolve the issue of cash flow or limited cash flow, particularly in your business, by significantly teaching you a few things about like what to do to solve those problems, but also the top 10 reasons really. I think I'm going to get into 10 reasons why, or maybe there's 7. There's 7 here. A few reasons why, using other people's money is going to be the best thing for you. Okay. So anyways, by the end of this live, of course, you're going to walk away with actionable steps, because, these are things that you must take action on in order to reap the benefits of them. Actionable steps that's going to help you leverage more business credit to transform your financial situation, gain time freedom, and build a business that works for you. There's no other way around it, y'all. We need other people's money. Okay. So here are 5 ways that you can leverage business credit to grow and scale. 5 ways. Number 1, you can use other people's money to purchase business equipment. And to help you deliver products and services faster, right? So if your business requires you to have certain types of equipment and cash flow is an issue, look, you can use other people's money to solve that problem, so you can work more faster, efficiently, get paid faster, and just deliver better results for your company. You can use other people's money to hire and pay yourself. Sometimes, small business owners, they actually get stuck at a job or get stuck having to go to work for someone else because of lack of capital, lack of cash flow. They're unable to pay themselves. And not to mention those who are confused with, all this noise and mixed information that's on the internet. Like, you need an S corp, right? But if you don't have enough cash flow to pay yourself or pay someone and put somebody on payroll, then you will actually be out of non-compliant, because having an S corp is one of those things that requires you to pay yourself a reasonable salary. So if you don't understand entities and business, it's just like, you really got to, find a book, go to school, do something to really learn how to do this, so that you are not, at the end of the day being taxed, but also fined with penalties for just lack of knowledge and lack of information. Okay. So you can actually, hire staff, hire yourself, hire your kids, put them on payroll as well. And these are some tax strategies and wealth strategies, but requiring cash flow, which you can borrow from other people, right? Other people meaning not only just friends, family, and all those things, but like other businesses are willing to give you cash flow. Banks, lenders, grantees, all those different funding opportunities could help you really grow and scale in this a meaningful way. So number 3 is really, you can use other people's money as an investor. You can invest in things like that will, help you to produce more cash flow, passive income streams like real estate, luxury vehicle rentals, commercial property, all of those different things, stocks, stocks that pays it dividends. It takes money to be able to do those things. In order to get in the game, of course, you have to have the mindset of figuring out how to get really resourceful, right? So if you don't have the mindset of getting resourceful, if money is a problem, then you're going to always have money problems until you figure out how to use money, right? Tap into other people's money in order to resolve that problem, because money is the only thing that solves money problems. Okay. So you can use other people's money to create technologies. Look, you guys, if you are not innovating technologies, which means that using technology in a different way, in a creative way that other people may not be using that technology, or creating new technologies using resources that are around you, then you are leaving potentially like hundreds of thousands and additional millions of dollars even on the table as well. Because guess what? There are grants that are out there for research and development. We're talking about multiple 7-figure grants right now for those who are innovative, and for those who are using technology like AI and customizing these things and delivering new technologies into the marketplace, like Steve Jobs. Everybody knows Steve Jobs. I see you, Cashflow. I see you, MWIT. Everybody knows who Steve Jobs are, right? Right. So one thing about Steve Jobs is he never invented anything. He didn't invent the iPhone. He didn't invent the the iPad. He didn't invent iMac and MacBook Pros. He didn't invent the MP3 players. He didn't invent any of those things. Those technologies already existed. But what he did do, which is why he's one of the most remembered persons in history, in the whole Apple history, is because he innovated those technologies, and he showed you how to turn a phone into a computer, basically, how to make it your MP3 player, how to make it your notebook, how to make it your phone book, how to use all these technologies in one. So he just took technology, turned it on its head, and basically showed you how to use it in a new way that people were not thinking to use it. And so this is the reason why there are, tech companies that are out there, and tech research development grantees that are out there looking to, have more people become innovators of technology. And so, in fact, there's one technology grant that it's called SBIR, where they're funding $300,000 for the first round for people who are brand new, small businesses that are researching and developing new technologies. And then there's a second round of over 1.7 million, and the third round of funding is going to be $500,000. And everybody that has a business can qualify potentially for these particular types of grants. And so, in order for you to qualify for those, of course, you got to already have money and cash flow in your business. Even though they're going to be funding you, they need to see that your business is operating not just on that research and development grant, but you have cash flow already happening. You're already securing cash flow for your business. And so anyways, the fifth way that you can use other people's money to grow is to acquire other people's businesses, acquisitions. There are levels to business, you guys. And number one is like, you can start a business. Number two, you could buy a business, that's already like, seasoned, for the purpose of business credit. There's all these different areas and things and strategies that you can use to start creating wealth. But of course, wealth is created through a business, the vehicle of business. But there are also company mergers, like acquisitions. Acquiring other companies is a smart move, because let's just say you've been able to tap into other people's money to get your business to 7 figures, 8 figures. And now you're ready to, build your portfolio to $100 million company. It is possible. And the crazy thing about it is, when you think about that, you probably think I got to do a whole lot more work, acquire a whole lot more customers, hire a whole lot more people, do all these things, and I'm going to have to go from the bottom up. But really, strategically, it's just like you have to understand how to play the card. You can do mergers and acquisitions. These are like high level thinking people that are doing mergers and acquisitions, which means that you buy into the equity of other companies. Like, so you can actually acquire companies that are already doing, 8 figures, 9 figures, 10 figures and beyond, or whatever in business, and now they become a part of your business portfolio, and you have equity. You can have 40%. You don't want to have the majority percentage of equity, because then you have to work in the business in order to be able to justify the majority ownership. Now you become the decision maker, right? But you definitely want to have a good bulk. 40% is good, right? 40% of equity ownership in a business. So if they're, $7 million, $10 million portfolio business, now you come in basically as an advisor, showing them how to use other people's money to continue to grow, showing them how to create the systems and operations, and helping them, because it got to make sense, right? And then that equity actually attached with your equity shows that you're now $100 million, business owner. Like, you have all this equity in all these different areas of business. And so you have to do that. In order for you to be able to do that, you got to bring some money to the table, right? You got to either bring money or some significant resource to the table that has monetary gain that's going to help that company to continue to grow and thrive, which could be your SOPs, your system operations and procedures, and your people, your workforce, or whatever, or your training. You got to be something significant. But of course, it takes other people's money in order to grow that big, right? So again, so there's just a few things that you can do with the power of business credit, and people take it lightly. Most people, they start LLCs. Many people have multiple LLCs. Anybody have multiple LLCs? Let me know in the chat. How many LLCs do you have, right? So many people think that you have to have multiple businesses. You have to be a serialpreneur to really make 7 and 8 figures and to create wealth, but you don't. All you need is one. Now, if your purpose is to tap into business credit, that is the only time when you're thinking about creating multiple LLCs, multiple entities, because how it works is each entity that you create, and you have to know when you create it, you have to understand where you're creating it, any tax implications, any minimum requirements, especially in California, the additional tax filings that you have to do just because you're in California. So you have to understand where you're creating your business in your LLCs matter. But each entity, let's say you have 5 entities, each entity can qualify for up to $250,000. So if you just have one, well, your entity could easily qualify for up to $250,000, 0% interest, if you understand how to build business credit. And then I'm not going to get into the weeds of things, but like, either you're going to have to back your business credit with a 700 credit score, or you have to build business credit from the bottom up to show credibility. So either way, you can actually get $250,000 per entity. So if you have 5, if you have 4, that's $1 million. If you have 4 entities and you understand the business credit, other people's money game, that is $1 million that with 0% interest that you can extract from those companies and actually start your investments, right? Investing in systems, operations, procedures, acquisitions, company mergers, whatever, real estate, passive income streams, the stock market, whatever. But there's a system and a strategy, and these things are not, of course, taught in school. So, you have to have people come on and share the wealth and knowledge as they grow and tap into these new high level opportunities that are willing to come back and share with the average everyday entrepreneur who is out here struggling, thinking that you have to bootstrap yourself from the bottom up and bootstrap and reinvest all your fund, your hard work, hard-earned work money that you work hard for, right, back into the business and just be at 0% profits for like 3 to 5 years. that is not the true way that wealth is being created, y'all. So I'm here to tell you that you have to start really thinking about other ways to really grow and thrive in business outside of just chasing customers. Because chasing customers is not going to get it. It is not just by customers that you're going to be able to thrive in business. Now, if you're just like having a side hustle as a business and you don't really care about building wealth, then none of these things that I'm talking about is going to matter to you. But if you really want to use your business to create massive wealth and be a part of the top 2 percentile, top 6% of money revenue generators in the nation, then you have to really do these things strategically. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to give you guys how many action steps is there? There's 7. Okay. I'm going to give you guys 7 action steps that you can take right now. If you already have an established business or not, 7 action steps that you can take right now to start your journey in building business credit, right? Real deal, Holyfield, you are speaking my language. Thank you. Yeah. So to start your journey toward building business credit. So number 1, even if you work a 9 to 5, okay? If you work a 9 to 5, you have a side hustle, you're a sole proprietor, it does not matter. If you are interested in building business credit, regardless of where you're starting, if you've been doing it wrong, if you've been stuck at less than 6 figures, if you've been stuck at 30,000, 50,000, 80,000 as a business owner, we're going to just push reset. It's okay. I'm going to help you push reset. So here's the things that I'm going to tell you to do. Number 1, you got to establish an LLC. You must establish an LLC. If you have a sole proprietorship, you can build business credit on a sole proprietorship, but everything is going to be based off your own personal credit. Okay. And as you use those business lines of credit, then it's going to always affect your personal credit score, the utilization. And at some point, you just going to cap out. So this is why we want to have a separate entity that's separate, different from who we are as people. Has absolutely nothing to do with my credit score, but you can use your personal credit score to speed up the process, but it's still going to be a separate entity, and it's not, your utilization is not going to affect your personal credit score, which opens up opportunities for you to continue to grow and thrive in business. Okay. So here we go. So establish an entity. If you don't know where to go to establish your LLC, if you've already established an LLC, that's fine. But if not, for those who are just beginning, Taylor Brands is a good place, to start an LLC. They kind of do it for you, whatever. You pay a little bit of a fee, right? It takes money to make money. You're either going to spend time, which is, which is more valuable than money, or you're going to spend money. But either way, you have to either figure out if I'm going to spend a little bit of money to save a lot of my time so I can make a lot of money or whatever, or if I'm going to make try to figure out how to do all these things myself. So Taylor Brands is a great place to go. ZenBusiness.com, y'all. I just established a brand new entity yesterday and in the state of Wyoming. The reason why I'm using Wyoming, and I use Zen Business to do that, is because Wyoming has a whole bunch of different types of perks. They don't have the sneak tax like California does, and so on and so forth. So that's a really great place. Vegas is a really great place. Certain areas are just really good places to establish a business. Florida is a really good place. But anyway, Zen Business, ZenBusiness.com. That is another place where you can go. But anyways, you can register your business as a legal entity, LLC. Do not go for S Corp. Don't establish your business as a S Corp until you are making 6 figures, right? Once you hit 100,000, 200,000, $250,000 in business, which you can do that very easily within your first 6 to 12 months. Once you're doing that, then you want to elect to be taxed as an S Corp. Because what that does, it kind of starts helping you to have less tax implications or whatever, down the pipeline as a 6-figure business. So those are like some of the tax strategies. So then also as an S Corp, you then still now have money where you can put yourself on payroll, which you will be required to do. So it only makes sense if you're already making 6 figures, okay? Not before, okay? So then you want to go get your EIN. IRS.gov, get your EIN. It's free. Or Zen Business can do it on your behalf in a package. I think their package is like $200 a year or something like that. They can do it for you, right? Open a business bank account. So the moment that you open up a business bank account, this is like, we're still talking about establishing an entity, okay? The moment that you open up your business bank account, now you are establishing a business credit profile. It's called a PAYDEX score, right? So now that's the moment that you actually establish the business credit profile. So now that you've established your business, the first thing to ensure that your business is credit ready, there's a couple things that you must do. You must use a business commercial address. Do not use a residential address to establish your business. You want to have a commercial address. You can use Regis, virtual addresses. You can use Opus virtual addresses. You can use a registered agent address, because these addresses are zoned in commercial areas, which if you use your home address, now you're shown by your credit profile, you're building it as a high risk business. Okay. So that's why you want to have a business address, a business phone number. I use, evoice.com. Go to evoice.com, get a business phone number. You can use Google Voice. There's a whole bunch of other toll-free numbers that you can get for a business number. Do not use your personal cell phone as your business number. Use a toll-free number, use a local number, but use a third-party number for commercial phone numbers, because again, that helps you set your business profile up for business credibility. And then you want to submit yourself to the National 411 directory, right? You can submit your business to Google, but also submit your business to the National 411 directory, because that shows you'll begin to show up in the Google search, but also it shows credibility, right? This is how you build your credit profile to where the banks will say yes. They will say yes. So if you've ever gone to the bank, you have a small business, whether it's a sole proprietorship or maybe you start in an entity and you have not done those things, right, to establish it the correct way, and you go to the bank, these are some of the reasons why you've been redlined. This is some of the reasons why they deny your applications, is because your profile doesn't say you're ready for funding. Okay. So you got to get fundability ready, right? Set up a professional website. Now, professional websites is going to say the name of your business.com. So go on GoDaddy, go on Namecheap, grab your domain, throw up a web page. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Even if it's just, we do this, here's how you get in contact with us. Just throw up a website. And you want to have a professional email that matches your website. So it's going to say, info at the name of your business.com, or contact or support at the name of your business.com. So you want to have a professional email. So when you're setting up your business profile with these particular things, as you apply for things, you use your website, you use your professional email, because now they're seeing you not as the person, right? You, the person. They're seeing you as the entity, you, the entity. Okay. So you want to make sure that you set up your entity correct. So that's number 2. So number 3 is, then you want to go and register with business credit agencies like Dun & Bradstreet, okay, DNB. Get a DUNS number, okay? So I tell everybody, if you're looking to really grow and thrive in business, you must do these things, but also don't forget to get your DUNS number, just because, because a lot of people know me as the government contracting lady. Yes, I'm the government contracting lady. And in government contracts, you no longer got to use a DUNS number in order to get registered as a federal contractor. However, we're not just doing federal contracts. We're creating wealth with our business. So you want to still set your business up for opportunities, right? So maximum opportunities to create wealth. And so in doing so, get a DUNS number. Okay. So you want to get your DUNS number. It is free, right? Of course, there are consultants out there who can do it for you, but you can apply for a DUNS number. It takes a few days to get one. You want to do it expedited as a government contractor. That way the number comes back within 24, 48 hours when you apply. Then you want to also register with Experian Business and Equifax Business. Register with them for so that they can monitor your business credit profile, because that establishes, that's how you establish your business credit report. Okay, so step 4. So after you've done those things, y'all with me? Everybody with me? If you're with me, say with you. I'm with you, Dr. K. Let me know in the chat. Okay. So once you have done these things, okay, and not until you have done those things, like you've laid the foundation. It's almost like building a building, right? It's like construction, throwing up a new high-rise building. Before you can actually, give somebody the keys to the building, you got to build it first. And the first thing is like excavating, that groundwork, the dirty work is excavating and laying the foundation, then building up the walls, and then adding the carpets, the sheetrock and the paint and the interior design and the lighting. Business is built the same way, right? So this is like the groundwork, the dirty work, this part. So once you've done that, step 4 is start with your vendor credit. Vendor credit account. So what is a vendor? A vendor is any company like Quill, Uline, Staples, Walmart and stuff. And there's levels to that, right? So start with a net 30 account. You can Google what are the vendor credit net 30 account, accounts that I can get as a new person building business credit. Google it, use some. But some of the ones that I recommend to get started are Uline. That's Uline. There's Granger. Granger sells mostly construction gear, industrial gear, and stuff like that. But they also have batteries and like tape and supplies and things of that nature as well. So Uline, Granger, Quill, and Summa Office Supplies. Those are like 4. So once you have those 4 established, of course, then it's going to open up opportunities for you to do the next tier of business credit. So do that. And what that does is it gives you a 30-day account to get supplies, to get equipment, to get some things, right? Whether or not you use those things, because some of those things is like, tape, paper, pencils, cups, snacks for your office, little trinkets and things of that nature, steel toe boots, that type of stuff. Some of the stuff, you may not think is important, but you can buy tissue at these places or whatever. But the point is you want to spend at least $75 at each of these vendors and then wait 40 and then pay it off, of course, before the 30 days so that it establishes that you know how to handle credit, and then wait 45 days. And then it's going to produce what's called a business credit score. So it's going to say this person has a score A. Let's just say that, right? Or 80 paydex score. This person has a perfect business credit score. They pay their bill before it's due. It's not like, even if you pay on time, it'll say this person pays on time. But if you're one day late, then it starts saying this person is, a little bit behind, And so this is the reason why you want to pay it ahead of time. So pay that bill off, before the 30 days is up. And then now you have an excellent credit score, because what's going to happen on the business side, when you have an excellent business credit score, then they're going to start trusting you with things like credit cards, lines of credit, real money, like big money. This is how you get to the $250,000 in lines of credit, 0% interest. You got to start here. Okay. And then in step 5, once you've done that, obtain business credit cards. Okay, so apply for a business credit card. There are some companies that I'm going to share with you that does do business credit cards for newbies after you've established your tier 1 vendor lines, of course. Then you can start getting credit cards. These credit cards may be anywhere from 10 to up to 50,000. It just kind of depends, right? It depends on your industry code, like what's happening, whether you're personally guaranteeing it or if how long you've been in business. If your business has been in business for 2 years or more, how much money your business is making. So it depends. They give different people different lines, but you can get up to like $50,000 per card. So let's say some of the cards are Capital One Spark. Capital One Spark is really good for new people establishing businesses. They may give you a credit card. I don't want to say the amount because it's going to be different again, but you can get a nice little line of credit to get started on a credit card. Okay. Capital One Spark, American Express, Blue Business, or Chase Inc. Chase Inc. card is another. Chase for Business Inc. card is another one. So you can apply for those things once you've done the footwork, the groundwork of establishing initially. So it may take you like 45 days after you've established your entity to be able to start qualifying for these cards. Okay. And then from there, once you've done that and you start utilizing this card, put a small balance on the card, pay the minimums, don't max it out. Put a small balance, pay the minimums, don't max it out. Do meaningful things with them. Like maybe, get your branding done or develop a new product that you're going to offer that will start making money. Do something that's going to make money with those credit cards. Like don't just go get your hair, your nails done and put some gas in the car. Don't do those things. But there will also be gas cards that you can get at this level. So it's like Chevron cards, Texaco cards, a Wex card, those are like gas cards. They'll give you like $1,000, maybe $2,000 or $3,000 for your for gas. And this is good for those who are going to be doing like Uber, Lyft, or fleets, or any trucking, or even if you just have a business and you're traveling back and forth to your office. It's good to have a gas card because it frees up your personal cash flow, right? Because you have to do what's called on these gas cards 30 days net. Like, you use it, don't pay it for 30 days. So it frees up your personal cash flow when you're able to do that. And then you can just use, your business revenues that you're generating to pay these things off every 30 days. So anyways, and then you want to diversify your credit account. So expand into other types of credit, like for here. When I say diversify, they want to see, the bankers, they want to see that you're able to handle, similar to personal, a good credit mix, different types of business credit, right? Which will include a business line of credit. Now, if your business is brand new, there are some banks that are out there. I know in Cali, we have like Travis Bank. That's one. And then there's some other banks. There's like BBVA. They have those all over, like business, Vocal Compass or something. I forget exactly what the acronym stand for, but it's BBVA. And then there's some other banks. These are companies like if your business is brand new and you have at least a good 680 credit score, they will give you up to $200,000 even before your business makes a single dollar. Just because you have a financial projections, a business plan that shows what is your plan for making money, raising capital, and then they can actually back that with your 680 credit score. So there are some banks that will give you money. There are ways to get money. You just got to be creative, right? There's ways to get money. And so some of the different types of credit accounts that you can get at banks at this particular point are business lines of credit. Business lines of credit are credit lines, right? It could be a $30,000 line. It could be a $100,000 line. And these are lines of credit that you use, right? Whether you're maxing them out, like you can max them out, pull all the money out and just pay a monthly fee to, replenish it, right? So these are lines of credit that you can, as you use them and pay them off, the money becomes available again. So they're like revolving lines of credit, right? Which is good because right now I have like $100,000 line of credit that I don't really use, but if I need to use it, if I need to go grab a quick, $100,000 to make an investment on a building or a property or whatever, then I have it, and I don't have to pay the $100,000 out in 30 days. I could just, make payments towards it, and they'll tell you what the payments are going to be, right? So these things are good to have, and then as I pay that off, it'll become available to me again. So these are great things to have. So you can have a business line of credit. You can do equipment financing. So equipment finances make your equipment the collateral. So say like you need to get a truck for business, or in order to run your business, you need to get a crane because you're in construction, or you need to get some electrical equipment because you do electric or whatever. You need to get some gardening equipment because you're starting a tree cutting business or whatever. There are equipment loans that you can get, equipment financing loans that you can get specifically for that. Okay. And then there are business auto loans. There are certain companies, I think Ford, I want to say Chevrolet, Ford, and then there's some others, right? There are some automobile companies that will give you a vehicle. We're talking about no personal credit check. We're talking about no down payment. You just bring your business information, let them run your business credit. You could drive off the lot with a car, like brand new truck, right? Based on your business credibility, right? So a business auto loan you can get, like you can lease a car in the name of your business, right? Which is even great because it shows that, hey, I'm handling all these different types of, business credit opportunities. And so ensure that your accounts, you pay your bills on time, right? Don't just get these opportunities, get the money and run, because people do that. And it's crazy how there are some unethical people just really saying, go start these establishments, take the money off and then file for bankruptcy. No, that is like don't do negative things in the marketplace. Just please don't, because number one, it ruins opportunities for real people who really want to do the right thing and grow a thriving business. It ruins our opportunity. It makes it harder for us to be able to now get access to these opportunities that are out there for everyday entrepreneurs. So don't do anything unethical. Never do that, because negativity, of course, it brings back negative things for you. Like, you can't even, it's only going to last for so long. So always be a person of great ethics, and a person who is a person of your word, woman of your word, man of your word. Do what you say you're going to do. If you let these banks know that I'm going to pay you back, pay them back according to the pay schedule. Do what you have to do, because when you sow good seeds, like, there's only thing that can happen is blessings, right? Yeah, the only thing that you can reap from the seeds that you sow are blessings when you sow good seeds. So always be a good person, okay? So and then number 7 is monitor and maintain. So once you're doing these things, you have this money momentum now, you want to maintain and monitor your credit scores across Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, Equifax, all those different areas. Like, because you will find, sometimes they'll do some negative reporting, like this person is 3 days late. You can actually dispute that and they'll take it off, and now your credit score is perfect again, right? So similar to personal credit, you just won't know who the person or who the vendor is that's reporting you like 3 days, 30 days, 90 days late. You'll just see the activity, and then you can just dispute the activity, and they'll take it off. So these are 7 tips to getting started in the business credit, of course. And I share with you some reasons why, ways that you can actually use other people's money to create money momentum and wealth and stuff like that. So make sure you tap in. Of course, if you want to know more, like, look, we have tools. And if you we have a tool, a business credit builder. We've partnered with a company which is one of the number 1 biggest business credit softwares, in the world, the best one. We've partnered with them, and we're able to extend those particular type of tools. So if you want to do this like systematically, we have a tool. It's called if you go to she'sgotcredit.com. Of course, our company is She's Got Gold. So, we just kind of keep it along with the brand. She's Got Credit. She'sgotcredit.com. It's a credit builder tool. Now, this particular tool is available for anyone, whether you pay in installments. You can pay $297 a month and access this tool. And I think the total, I forget exactly how much it is total. I think it's like $29.97. So you could pay $297 a month to access this tool. And what's going to happen is, or you could just, purchase it all outright for $29.97, and you'll have 5 years access to this tool. You're welcome, Alfreda. Hello, how you doing? So when you use these tools, so this particular tool, I love it, because all the things and more that I just shared with you, it's gonna start you with getting your business reports. It's going to ask about your LLC, your EIN, your Dun & Brad. It's going to ask you, do you have these things? Then it's going to say, start with these 5 to 7 vendor, 30-day vendor accounts. And then it's going to open up the next tier. Once you report that I've done that, then it's going to open up the next tier and say, okay, now apply for these credit cards. And then it's going to say, now apply for these, these gas cards. Now apply for this vehicle, these carts, this loan lines of credit. So it kind of walks you through the entire process. And this is how you really begin to get out of the rut, stop, get out of the rat race. As an entrepreneur, it's like everybody chasing the same customers. It's like everybody trying to get ahead. Everybody, running and showing up at these business network mixers and passing out cards, but ain't nobody sharing, here's how you create wealth in the room, right? So if you go to she'sgotcredit.com, thank you for posting that, Christine. I'm going to see if I can show it here. So she'sgotcredit.com. This is where you go. This is where you can get the credit builder tool that we have partnered with this company to provide to people, right? Because look, you definitely want to do this thing the right way. And if you're looking to really grow and thrive in business and, create wealth for yourself, you will not be able to do that with your own hard-earned money. In order for you to create massive growth in your business, you must leverage other people's money. The same way as you grow in business, you're leveraging, hiring other people to leverage their time. You also want to, tap into these banks and these credit cards and these vendor accounts to leverage your money so that you can have more of it. Okay. So that's how it works, you guys. So hopefully you guys get much value out of this. Let me know if you are already building business credit. Let me know if you have business cards. What are you doing with that? Are you continuing the momentum and the growth using these things, these finances, these opportunities to invest in other things that's going to continue to make that money continue to grow? Or does it come to a halt, a stop, because you went and bought a purse or went and bought something that is a liability rather than an asset that's going to create more income? Okay. So 2025, y'all, it's time to, revive. You're welcome. It's time to revive our finances. It's time to create real wealth. Stop playing out here because look, things are becoming more and more expensive. We're talking about simple, everyday, basic life things like rent and mortgages. Like it's crazy. The mortgages, especially in California, it's so it's overpriced. Everything. The groceries is overpriced. I seen a bag of cherries in the grocery store the other day. The cherries was $15 for a small bag of cherries. I'm like, what is happening? Apples, like these everyday, food items that's necessary, for us. We always got to buy food. The cost of food has raised. The cost of supplies, tissue and all the things that we need, plates and spoons and all that stuff. It costs more to live. So is your business allowing you to keep up with the cost of inflation? And if not, you have to find a strategic way to do that and to make it happen. So that is it for today, you guys. Go and use other people's money, tap into business credit, start your entities, LLCs, be strategic about it, extract those $250,000 from entities on entities, stack that, become a multi-6-figure, multi-7-figure earner, because if you are not, you're going to be left so far behind. You're going to be left so far behind. As you can see, the middle class is shrinking. It's either going to be you're wealthy or you're extremely poor. You're going to be the have or the have not. So it is up to you what you do with the knowledge that we share here, and how you implement and execute and what you do beyond that. So shift your mindset, y'all. Let's think different. Let's think bigger. Let's make more money. It's 2025. It's time to be alive and to revive your finances so that we can prosper. We can prosper together. So of course, anything that you ever, need, want, or desire, there is a way for you to accomplish those things. And we're here to just share tips, just share the tips and the information. I am no gatekeeper of information. As I get information, I'm open to sharing it and letting you guys know this is what it is. This is how you see people really thrive. And this is how you see even young teenagers out here, being 7- and 8-figure earners. They're doing it strategically, and the business is a vehicle that can help you get there. So you're welcome, Isha. Thank you so much, you guys. All right. So until next time, go be fruitful, multiply, of course, use other people's money, and don't forget about those government contracts, because that is another source of massive wealth that you can create for yourself. So, all right, you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.